I'm convinced if you're Team Paxton, you probably did not watch the show. Hey guys, it's me Dihanna and welcome back to Dihanna's World. In today's video, I will be giving you guys a never have I ever review. So when this video is posted, I'm not sure if it's going to be posted today or tomorrow, but the time that I'm filming the video is when never have I ever actually came out. So I was up at 5 a.m. watching never have I ever, and I just finished it now, and currently it is 1:33 p.m. and I just finished it July 15th at 1:33 p.m. and now I am doing a video and a review, which by the way will have spoilers, so if you haven't seen the whole season yet, or if you just don't want spoilers, there's spoilers in this video, so you might want to click off now if you don't want it to be spoiled, so click off now. But I haven't done a TV show, movie review in a while, so Never Have I Ever is like a very popular new Netflix show, and it came out about last year around quarantine, and a lot of teenagers fell in love with it, fell in love with Paxton Yoshida, let's just be honest here, and now it's just this very popular show, and the show literally just came out today and it's all over TikTok, so I thought that I would do a review on it since I didn't do a review on season 1. But before we start, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment down below which videos you guys want me to do next. Also make sure you guys follow all of my social medias, they'll be on the screen and a link in the description below. Now without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so I have wrote a whole entire list of stuff about this show because I loved season 2. So I just want to say I definitely recommend this for all teenagers who want something to watch on Netflix. Watch this show, it's very, very good. So first, I'm just going to start with my highlights. So first of all, this is going to make me sound like a very, very bad person, but Paxton getting hit by the car was hilarious. And I know I sound horrible for saying that, but it was hilarious. I'm so sorry. He was fine in the end, so it didn't even really matter. Like, it was just funny how he fell over the car. And I sound like a horrible person for saying that, so don't come for me, but you can admit, if you've seen it, it was funny. Okay, so now my second highlight is that Gigi Hadid narrated Paxton's story. Hello. Gigi Hadid. I am a huge fangirl of Gigi Hadid. I love her modeling. I love her relationship with Zayn Malik because I'm also a huge One Direction fan. They have a baby together. They're just overall couple goals, and I love them, and I love her, and she literally narrated Paxton's story. Like, and she did amazing too. Huge fan of her, and I loved it. The next highlight that I have is them sharing the importance of having a friend that looks like you as a person of color. So also as a Black woman, I have Black friends, which really helps me with my situations because I've gone through a ton of racism, especially my 7th and 8th grade year of middle school. In 6th grade, I went to a predominantly POC school with minorities, so I didn't really deal with that much racism. I did still deal with racism, but not as much as I experienced going to a predominantly white school in 7th and 8th grade, and sometimes it got too much to handle. So when you have like those Black friends to talk to, and you have Black friends to like, you know, just talk to, and them to tell you it's okay, and them to be able to relate to you is just really great. So for them to show Indian representation and POC representation in the show Never Have I Ever, it just was very important of them to, you know, show and speak on the importance of having friends that look like you as a person of color. And then my last highlight is literally Common being in the show. If you don't know who Common is, are you human? I don't really know. Common is a rapper and an actor, and I love Common. My parents love Common, and for him to be in a show that my generation watches, it's very great, and it's gonna like introduce him to Gen Z kids, because I don't know if the Gen Z kids know who Common is, but I do. That's because my parents have cultured me on it, but him being in the show was literally like the highlight of my life. Like, hello, Common is in one of my favorite Netflix shows. That's crazy. So yeah, those are my highlights. Okay, so now I'm gonna get into my least favorite character. So first of all, we have Malcolm. Malcolm was Eleanor's boyfriend. Basically, why I don't like him, I mean, the list goes on and on. He's arrogant, he's foolish, he's manipulative. I just don't like that man, and I am so glad Eleanor, got some sense into her head and just, I don't even know what that relationship was, but he was literally the exact replica of every immature high school boy. He literally was. Like, I hated everything about him. I hated the way he dressed. I hated the way he talked to Eleanor. I hated the way he talked to Eleanor's friends. I hated him. And I don't really say I hate people a lot, but he gets that pass because he was just such a bad boyfriend. He was very manipulative and controlling, and I hated it. And guess what, Malcolm? You're a one-hit wonder. You were in one show that did good. You were in a Disney show that did good. Good for you. Now, kiss your 15 seconds of fame goodbye. You rode in a magical limo. Okay, the checks ran out. Now you're going to a public school. You're not better than anyone. So next, Davy. Don't attack me. Don't attack me. Don't attack me. Now, I really can... Davy, she's gone through a lot. I'll just say that. Davy's gone through a lot. Her dad died right in front of her. She watched it. She was paralyzed. And basically everyone nicknamed her and her friend group, I'm not going to say the word, but basically like a mean name. So she's been through a lot, and I would try to give her the benefit of the doubt every time. But for a lot of the things that Davy did in season 1 and in season 2, I was just like, girl, what is happening? And every time she would have a redemption, she would do something to make me dislike her even more. So if you've watched it, you know that she basically, since the beginning, she wanted Paxton. And then at the end of season 1, episode 10, the season finale for that season, she kissed Ben, or Ben kissed her. I don't really know. But so she always had liked Paxton. In my opinion, she had always liked Paxton, but she was kind of stringing Ben along. And in season 2, in the first episode, she's basically dating both Ben and Paxton, and she's cheating on Ben with Paxton. So she was a cheater. I really wanted to like her and reason with her. But then she was also a horrible friend. In season 1, she was a bad friend. She chose Paxton over Eleanor when Eleanor's mom left. And she was a horrible friend to Anisha. And I just, the rumors that she spread about Anisha just because she was jealous of the relationship she had with Ben baffled me. You cheated on Ben, and now that another girl is taking your spot, you're mad? No ma'am, no ma'am. And David's a teenager, we all make mistakes, but every time she would get a redemption, she would fall right back. And then when her mom was finally happy again after her husband had passed, Davy couldn't even be happy for her mother. Like, I get it, your dad died, and you feel like your mom didn't love your dad because she moved on, but everyone has to move on at some point. Like, everyone has to move on at some point. Like, what did you really expect? Did you expect her to just be sad the whole time? Like, I'm pretty sure Davy's dad would want Davy's mom to be happy in the end. So Davy just being upset for her mother's happiness just really irked me the wrong way. And I get that her and her mom had a very weird and twisted relationship, but it still wasn't right for her to not be happy for her mom's happiness. And then the last of my least favorite character is the guy who didn't put Kamala in the article paper thing. I don't even know his name. That's how irrelevant he is, and I'm not gonna go back and try to find out because I don't care. He doesn't deserve my respect. He's a sexist piece of crap, and I'm glad that she showed him who's boss and put her name in there. Basically he plagiarized because it was Kamala's work and he tried to take it and use it as his. He was a horrible person, and I don't know, I really hated him. And once again, I really don't say I hate people that often, but I did hate him, and I don't say I'm not sorry about it. I'm not sorry about it. He's a sexist piece of crap, and he deserves every bad thing that comes to him. So now we're done with the negativity, and we're gonna move on with the positivity, and now I'm gonna go into my favorite characters. Now, one of my favorite characters is Paxton. I have a love-hate relationship with Paxton. When he was saying like he wanted to only have a secret relationship with Davy because she cheated on him, I actually understood that. I mean, Davy played him, and then she basically called him stupid to his face, so him playing her back wasn't really a big deal to me because she kind of did it first, and at least he was like honest with his feelings. He said that he liked her, and also he had the amazing character development, and it's all thanks to his sister Rebecca, to be honest. If you really want to get honest, it's all thanks to his sister Rebecca. But Paxton had really good character development throughout season 1 to season 2. Like season 1, he was basically just this dumb jock, and then in season 2 he transformed to an actual like man kind of, and I like that. So the second one of my other favorite characters, by the way, this isn't in order, but one of my other favorite characters is Rebecca, who is Paxton's sister. Rebecca is the only person who could smack sense into Paxton. Like, she was always, everyone needs a sister like Rebecca. Like, you don't like what you're hearing from her, but you know what you're hearing from her is right. She gives the best advice. She doesn't sugarcoat anything. She tells him when he's wrong, and I love that. And she's honestly a great sister, and every sister that has a brother should want to be like Rebecca because she's honestly the perfect sister, and she's cool. Like, look at her outfits, she's amazing. So another one of my favorite characters is Fabiola, and that is Davy's friend. Fabiola really also had character development throughout season 1 through season 2. In season 1 and in season 2, she was very like, you know, insecure. She didn't really know how to express her feelings. She was always really shy and quiet, but season 2, she really transformed and had character development. She gained confidence. She told her girlfriend Eve, like, I'm not cool and I'm fine with that. And I really liked how she was honest with herself and she stayed true to herself in the end. She had amazing character development. So next is Dr. Ryan. Now, Dr. Ryan is probably my favorite character. She always smacked sense into Davy, and that's what Davy needed. Davy needed someone like Dr. Ryan. If Davy didn't have Dr. Ryan, Davy would basically be, how can I say this, Rory Gilmore. And I want to say this, but like, I don't want to say this, but Davy and Rory Gilmore from Gilmore Girls had a lot of parallels. If you've seen Gilmore Girls and Never Have I Ever, you can understand what I'm saying. You know, Davy cheated on her boyfriend with Paxton. Paxton was kind of seen as like the, not bad boy, but not the one that you'd bring home to your mom, kind of like Jess was in Gilmore Girls. And then Ben was like her dean. So Davy had a lot of parallels with that. And the only person who could honestly smack sense into Davy besides her dad was Dr. Ryan. Dr. Ryan always put her in her place, but she always put her in her place in a kind way. Because Davy's mom always also put her in her place, but Davy's mom would kind of do it in a very insensitive way. But Dr. Ryan really was the only person who could snap sense into Davy's head. And my last favorite character is Ben. I love Ben. I am a Ben stan. I might even start a Ben fan page. He was always, you know, in the beginning of the show, he was a jerk. And towards the middle of the show, he was also kind of a jerk, but he had a right to be a jerk. And I don't know, Ben's just really smart, and I like smart guys, but he's also kind of a jerk, and he's like very sarcastic. But the way that he slowly like formed his relationship with Davy, even though they broke up, but the way that him and Davy were, I don't know, it just really touched my heart. And I don't know, I have a love-hate relationship with Ben, but he's probably always going to be one of my favorite characters in the show, just because he just kind of, I don't know, I really like Ben. I don't know why, but I like Ben. So now I'm gonna go over the relationships in the show because that's the whole reason everyone watched it. So the first relationship I want to bring up is Dr. Chris and Davy's mom. I surprisingly liked them together. They were my favorite couple in the show, but you know, he was a great starter boyfriend for her to, I don't want to say move on, because she's always going to have a love for Davy's dad, but he was a good starter boyfriend, I guess, for her to slowly start, I don't want to say moving on, but moving on. So their relationship, I'll rate it a solid 6 out of 10. They weren't bad, but in my opinion, they just weren't like the best couple in the show. And that's just my opinion. I liked his character separately, and Davy's mom had character development too as well. But I don't know, I didn't really like them together. They were just meh to me. They didn't really stand out in any way. So next we have Fabiola and Eve. They were cute to me. I liked them together. I just didn't like Eve's friend. I forgot her name too. Relevant to me. I really did not like her. She was trying to rapidly and repeatedly and just every day change Fabiola because she wasn't cool enough. Not everybody who's in the same community has to be the same. Like, it's not giving. Like, why are you trying to change her? Eve liked her for her, and now you're trying to change her up. Like, let her be. Let her be in her robotics clubs. She basically, practically gave that girl an ultimatum. She's like, you either win the, I don't even know what it was, like homecoming queen or whatever, or you choose your robotics club, as if she couldn't do both. Like, girl, let's stay back. I don't really like how Eve kind of tolerated it. Only once did she defend Fabiola, but overall their relationship was cute and great, and I'm glad they kind of like made up in the end. But overall, I give the relationship a 7 out of 10, just because if you're in a relationship, you should defend your significant other when the person that you supposedly call your friend is trying to change them. And that's just my stance on it, but it's whatever. So the next two relationships I'm going to get into are the two that you guys have probably all been waiting for, and that is Ben and Davy and Paxton and Davy. So I'm first going to start with Paxton and Davy. So since the beginning of the show, season 1, episode 1, Davy's goal in high school life was to get with Paxton Hall Yoshida. That was her whole entire goal in high school. The whole season 1, she was literally trying to get with Paxton. And the whole season 1, Paxton either didn't see her worth or didn't really care about her worth, because multiple times in season 1, he always called her like a pal or something, or he'd invite her over with her friends. And I remember they did the project, and he said, like, I picked Davy to be our partner in this project because she's really smart at this stuff. So basically all he ever saw her was this smart girl, and he didn't really see her as anything more and anything less. And I don't know, like, in season 1, he did not think she was worth it. Like, he really didn't. And he didn't really care about Davy romantically, at least, until Rebecca had to snap some sense into him, like she always does, because that's what a queen does. But since literally episode 1, Davy has been chasing after Paxton, and it took him all the way till season 2 to want her back. And then when he wants her back, the first day he asked her on are with all of his friends. Literally, are you dumb? Like, bro, are you dumb? What girl that you know that has been chasing after you for a whole entire school year wants her first date with you to be with all of your friends? Did you think? And he's like, I'm not good at relationships, but if you really liked someone, you try to make an effort. There is no effort that you can say that he gave until the very end of season 2. Like, the thunder in the background is really annoying me, so we're just gonna try to ignore it, okay? But Paxton did not really recognize Davy's worth until the end of season 2. And I get what she did was wrong. She did cheat on him with Ben, and I get that. I really do. But he did not recognize her worth until the very end. And honestly, the whole entire pros and cons list was an even bigger red flag, is because all Davy put as the pros for Paxton was his body and his face. Just his appearance, nothing about his personality, meaning she did not want to be with Paxton, y'all. She wanted Ben. She may have thought Paxton was cute, which we all do. We all think Paxton's cute. I think we can all agree Paxton Hall Yoshida is cute, and he is one of the hottest guys at that school. But she didn't see Paxton as more than that. She may have not thought Ben was as cute as Paxton, but if we're talking about a relationship, then a relationship would have been Ben and Davy, and it would have just made more sense. A crush would have been Paxton and Davy. And like, there's some times where I would ship Paxton and Davy, but then there's other times where I was like, okay, that was kind of a jerk move. Like, she cheated on him, yes, but you have to... She cheated on him, and she was very, 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 very wrong for that. Like, if she didn't want him, she should have just broke up with him. If she didn't want Ben, she should have just broke up with Ben. But Davy did not, y'all. Her pros and con list literally said cons for Paxton is that Paxton's pretty much dumb, and pros for him is that he's hot. That's it. That's all she saw him as, hot. And he may have done things for her. You know, he didn't tell the whole school when she lied about them, and and then he also in the end took Davy to be his girlfriend after she cheated on him. So yeah, he was good to her, but was she good to him? That's the real question. She only saw him as hot. She never saw him as anything more and anything less, which is actually kind of sad because Paxton is a nice guy and he grew to become like really, really smart. So next I'm gonna talk about Ben and Davy. Ben and Davy on paper made more sense. He was smart. He challenged her. She was smart. She challenged him. Even in season 1, there was an episode where they would like go back and forth with who had the best grades. And that's what like relationships are all about. When you're in a relationship, you're supposed to like learn from your partner. And I'm saying this as if I've ever been in a relationship, which I haven't, but I love romance books and romance shows, so I've picked up a little information about it. And yes, I'm only 13, turning 14 in about 3 days? 15, 16, 17, 18. Yep, 3 days. Yeah. I don't know anything about relationships because I'm so young, but I don't care. I'm right. You're supposed to learn from a relationship. You're supposed to grow while being in a relationship. You're supposed to challenge your partner in a relationship, and that's what Ben and Davy did. They were literally made for each other. And yes, Davy spent the whole entire show chasing after Paxton. Well, at least for season 1. In season 1, the whole entire time she was chasing after Paxton. But Ben did more, I don't know, Ben drove her to her dad's, whenever her and her family were gonna spread her dad's ashes. That right there would have automatically been a green flag for me. And then for, I don't know, like, he was just really, really good to Davy while they were like friends and while they were in a relationship. And for him to kind of get played like that kind of like made me feel really, really bad for him. And I feel like him being with Anisha shows how much he likes Davy. Anisha was literally, Davy even said it, like an exact replica of her, but cooler and prettier. To me, they're both equally beautiful, but Davy even said it. Anisha was literally like a replica of her. And for Ben to, right after not being in a relationship with Davy, to go right onto Anisha shows that he was in love with Davy the whole time. And honestly, I thought the show was going to end by Davy saying I love you to Ben, but that did not happen. She spent, you know, the irony, I got the word, okay. The irony of it is that for season 1, Davy spent her whole time chasing after Paxton, and for season 2, she spent most of the time chasing after Ben. She spread that whole rumor about Anisha being, which she was completely wrong to do. I don't even know why she did that. She was just jealous, like, girl, come on now. But for her to spread that rumor because she was so jealous of what Anisha and Ben could have had shows that she really cared for Ben. She was not trying to fix any holes with Paxton right after she told him he was basically stupid. She was still trying to fix holes with Anisha so she could get back with Ben. And she even told Dr. Ryan that. She was like, I'm going to apologize to Anisha so Ben can think I'm a good person. She did all of that to be with Ben. And even then, like, the pros and con list. For the pros and cons list, she put things and pros about his personality. For Paxton, she put pros and of looks. Looks may draw you to a person, but personality is what keeps you to a person. And at the end of the day, first of all, Ben's not even ugly, so I don't even know why. Like, I don't even know why that was even a thing. And I just think Davy got so stuck with the Paxton's popular, he can make me popular, that she overshadowed her feelings for Ben, when deep down inside she wanted Ben. Eleanor even said so. But at the dance, Ben was like, oh, he's always been Davy's first choice. And Eleanor was like, no, he was not. Davy wanted you, but we convinced her otherwise. And it's true. This whole time, Davy didn't like Paxton. She thought he was cute and he was nice to her sometimes. That's a crush. Like Eleanor even said, like, Ben was ultimately Davy's first choice when it got down to it. And looks wise, yes, Davy would have chose Paxton, but as a relationship, she would have chose Ben, seeing as the reason she spread a whole false rumor about someone she was becoming really good friends with just because Ben was hanging out with Anisha. And clearly Ben still had feelings for Davy in the end, because whenever they did that whole like Daisy, I don't even remember her last name, presentation, he even was like kind of upset with Anisha whenever she didn't like do her cards right. Like, he was upset because Davy challenged him. That's what's good in a relationship. Yes, Anisha's cool, Anisha's nice, but Anisha is Ben's Paxton. Like, what? Like, come on, guys. The parallels are literally identical. Like, Anisha is Ben's Paxton. She's cool. She's pretty. She's popular. Everyone likes her. And that's the same for Paxton. But Davy challenges him. Davy draws him in. Davy can relate to him and a whole different bunch of things. So, yeah. So, by me basically explaining all of that and basically pretty much making it obvious, I am Team Ben. I'm convinced if you're Team Paxton, you probably did not watch the show. But I gotta be honest, I can kind of reason with you if you're Team Paxton. Kind of just contradicted myself right there by saying if Team Paxton, you probably didn't watch the show, but I can understand. Respectfully, I can agree with, like, if you're Team Ben, I'm 100% gonna agree with you. And if you're Team Paxton, I can see where you're coming from. So that is it for my review, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment down below which videos you guys want me to do next. Also, make sure you guys follow all of my social medias. They'll be on the screen. And yeah, that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stream all my music is be in the link in the description below. Bye, guys!